Shoutouts to HSM and UTKC.
So this is my first class for today. It actually starts at 10 o'clock. I'm just really not sure what to expect, so I have actually come in a little bit early. This is sort of the teaching stations that we have here at UofT, and this is what I'm going to try to set up over the next little while. So this is an unusual sort of situation because we have dual delivery, which is also known as high flex. I'm about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours before I need to start. I'm here early, and I want to just make sure, even though I've done this before, to make sure that everything is kind of working. I'm kind of expecting a lot of things not to work, to be quite honest. I'm hoping for the best. So my class is in just over an hour, so I think I'm all set up. So I just ran downstairs to take a quick look outside. There isn't really a lot going on right now. There aren't a lot of students on campus as far as I can see. Again, it's a Monday morning. I'm sure a lot of the classes are online, but it is really odd to not see so many students out here. So yeah, well, hopefully things will pick up a little bit as the day goes on. Also, we did have some technical glitches today, so my Ethernet just stopped working, so I'm kind of a little bit more aware of that for future lectures. Love the class, the energy. Even the energy online seemed really good. Day one though, so it's hard to imagine that it's going to continue, but I'm hoping, really optimistic, and yeah, I'm just waiting for things to finish down here. It takes about 5-10 minutes to kind of pack up all my gear, so you can sort of see that. I have a bunch of gear that you can see. Not all of it worked the way that I thought it would work, but that's okay. Working out all of the kinks as we go on. It'll be great for tomorrow though, so I'm looking forward to that. So this is the first time I've been able to take off my mask since this morning. So I got here a little bit early. I'm glad I did because there were a lot of things that didn't really work out the way that I thought. Overall though, I'd have to say things were okay. The campus is still very, very empty. I think we're the only class that actually had in-person on that entire floor of Sid Smith, which is a fairly large building. I didn't see a lot of students kind of moving in and out. I had to jump across the street to my old office, which is over there beside me. So a little bit, I need to come in and clean it out. Lots of dead plants, which makes me sad. A lot of dead plants. Some that actually survived. I think someone must have been watering them for me, which I greatly appreciate. Now I have like another lecture that's completely live and online at 2 o'clock. So I just made sure that I had stable internet connection here. It's a little bit noisy. There's a lot of construction on campus, but overall I think it'll be good, and we'll see what happens. It's a long day, so I actually have another meeting immediately after. So I will probably have been here on campus wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, for about almost 8 hours, almost 9 by the time I'll be done. This class runs from 2 to 4. It's just 1:03, so I have about another hour to get ready, and I'm just looking through my lecture notes now and just making sure that I'm caught up on everything. Okay, well, exciting life, exciting first day to be quite honest, and we'll sort of see what happens next. Alright. So I'm here on the other side of campus. A lot of traffic. It's about 8 something in the morning. I'm off to class. One thing about online is that we have to actually expect that there's going to be issues kind of happening. So I'm always coming a little bit earlier than I normally would. So my class is at 10 o'clock, and I'm kind of expecting more problems again. So I'm over here near Varsity. Again, pretty quiet, but usually the street is a little bit more quiet. And then, of course, across the street, we have the Gold Ring. Beautiful facility. And really, really love it. I hope students are using it or athletes are using it. Kind of hard to say. We'll hope for the best. And hopefully more students will show up. Was really happy that yesterday a lot of students expressed their thanks for actually having in-person classes. I know for students, they were really disappointed that a lot of the classes had been moved completely online. It's good for students to know that those are options, but I think that overall, just coming to campus for some students is actually really important. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how many students actually show up throughout the semester. This is like second day of the full week, and this is my second in-person class at about 10 o'clock. So I can't actually get into my office because I signed a form saying that I'd only be there from like 9 o'clock to about 10 o'clock. I still have to wait about 40 minutes. I guess I could try sneaking in, but I'd rather just sort of follow the rules, which I think is important at this time. So I'm going to try to set up a little bit. I don't really have a lot of gear with me because it was heavy carrying it all around. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And it says it's a maximum of 17. I don't actually think that we are at that maximum, but again, it's also like really hard to figure out if students are actually going to show up, even if they are signed up for online learning. So that's a bit of a challenge. By the way, I am wearing spectacular pink today. Just wanted to be a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more cheery. I think the week is going to be okay. Got to think positive during this time, and hopefully all of you are being positive as well. And yeah, I'm just going to go wait for about another hour. I just did a quick sound check. I did a quick run through. It's life in COVID-19 and teaching, unfortunately. And I'm just going to wait now for about another hour until class starts. And so over here on the engineering side of the campus, even more quiet over here, I'd say, but makes sense because they're taking a different strategy than the Faculty of Arts and Science. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing to be in the building and not to see so many individuals around. And I'm going to head over now to the bookstore to check it out. We'll see how things are over there, but it's actually a really great time to explore the university if you are down on campus, mainly because there's no one really out and about. It's pretty quiet, as you can see. The entire sort of bay is pretty empty right now. There are a couple of students that I saw studying, but for the most part, it's a pretty empty campus. And it makes me sad. Let's go check out the bookstore. So here I am. Actually, I'm buying some merch from my school. Can't believe I'm buying more UofT gear, but I am. So actually taking a look around to see what else is out here. So I thought I'd take a quick look at Robarts, and actually if you look behind me, there's actually now sort of a lineup to get into Robarts. So this is about at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and you can see that it's actually, there is a bit of a lineup there. There's actually a new truck here, which is a egg crepe truck. So at some point, probably going to try it out. Have to say that it does smell delicious, and I'm looking forward to kind of trying out these different things. I'm heading home. It's been a long day for me. Yeah, so the campus is still very, very quiet, although you can start to see like lineups to kind of get in to different buildings. It's not quite an easy process, but there's also hope because we also get some really nice new food trucks and the ability to eat new things. All right, so I'm heading back. I hope that wherever you're at, you're also staying pretty safe and just taking care of yourselves. All right, I'm gonna head out this way. So this is midweek, and I'm here at Robarts. I can't actually get into my office right now because I'm not allowed to. Technically, I guess I could, but I want to just follow the rules like everyone else. And it's really interesting that there are so many people still here early in the morning. It's about 9:30. They're already a lot of students sort of here in the background in the study spaces. So it's definitely starting to look a little bit more lively. I was able to find a terminal sort of in the back area of Robarts. A lot of them are closed off, as you could imagine, and a lot of the seating and everything else. I'll just take a quick look around. A lot of it's sort of wrapped up, so you can't actually use it, which makes sense. We want to stay safe and we want to keep everyone safe. But yeah, it's very interesting that so much of Robarts is actually closed off and you can't use it and everything else. So I'm going to try to get some work done in the next little while, and hopefully I can be as productive as possible. I can't get into my office, so I'm having to use these spaces. So I'm hoping I'm not taking up any of the resources that students might need. It doesn't look too busy down here. It is upstairs, but not down here right now. I have to be honest, I'm like really tired after just 2 days. So I had 3 classes over 2 days, very much like what students would have. And I'm a lot more tired than I normally would be, having to show up earlier to classes just to make sure that they're being set up properly. Then the constant stress and worrying about whether or not things are not going to work out well, and disappointing students who are online and not engaging with them. And then also not engaging with the students who are in the class in front of me. It's really challenging, I won't lie. I've had these types of classes before, but the expectations were so different. So hoping that I get a lot of work done. So I don't know if I look 10 years older, but I feel 10 years older. So this is my room for a relatively large class. This is the My Hall Center. It's a very beautiful room. It's got lots of screens and multiple screens for all sorts of wonderful things that can be done. And when technology is working and when things are going well, it's a fantastic room. So I taught in this room last year, and I think that we were doing things a little bit differently. We need to rethink and rejig things. With the Zoom account from UofT, it was not ideal. I actually had to send out an emergency email about 10 minutes before the start of class. There are lots of issues. I won't get into all of them right now. This is a really beautiful setup where we have like different monitors. Again, from where I'm sitting and where I'm standing from last week compared to this week, the keyboard is gone, so I'm gonna have to think a little bit about what I bring into this particular room, how I interact with the PC that's part of this setup. I can't right now, so it's hard to use multiple screens. Maybe I'll have to bring like another laptop. I'm already carrying like a fairly large bag as is. Just some more gear to carry around. I felt incredibly embarrassed and apologetic to the students, by the way. It was just really a terrible feeling. I just can't express it. It's just the failure of not being able to deliver something where students are kind of waiting, and twice in one session. Just an awful feeling, and I'm hoping not to encounter that again. So I am aware that things happen online. This was not good, I have to say. Not great. Beautiful room, as I mentioned, and I am hoping that if you take a look way up at the back, there are actually 2 different video cameras that are technically supposed to be on to capture me in the flesh, so to speak, as I'm giving a lecture. And I love walking around. I have this great area that you see here where I can walk around. I did wear a mask, by the way, during the entire lecture today. Mainly because I felt really bad for the students sitting here wearing a mask. So they were fantastic, I have to say. Students have been amazing, whether online or in person. I just wish that some of the communication around things like changing last minute would have been a little bit different. Not to complain overly. A lot of that's on me as well, but that was not a fun experience. I'm tired. I'm going home. It's like 6 o'clock, so that was 2 hours of lecture. Yeah, I'm hoping this is not going to be a continuing sort of fiasco. We'll see. Week 1, done, in the books. So let's hope week 2 is a lot better. We have a long way to go in this semester, and there are some more moving pieces. And yeah, thanks for joining me on this journey this week. Let's hope that week number 2 is a lot better. It can't get any worse, right? Oh, I should never say that. I have like a bad feeling about that. Anyways, good night, everyone. I'm going to head home. I'm going to make sure I use the right exit. Thanks for joining me in this wonderful, wonderful classroom. And I'll see you all next week. Thanks for listening to my evolving story throughout the entire week.
Studying every day, living my life. Grinding every day for that high life. Chasing every goal that's in my sight. Hunger every day, I want that limelight.